Hello. So let's do a quick recording of how we made this Blender 2.81a 2D animation using grease pencil. So it's just a normal aspect ratio canvas we're playing with. So if you just do launch Blender and just go 2D animation, that's the default size. So on the first layer I've made a background that I can like divide my screen up to work out what's going on. So my initial idea was I wanted something, just use that for a minute, just wanted something down here and basically fly up here and then go around to draw a circle, and then I'll have something down here at the same time. I go around and do the circle. So I created a circle and some lines. So basically lines using the lines tool, circle using the circle tool, and then I've just used the draw tool just to like divide up in between quickly to work out that where I am basically. So this is just going to help with timing basically. So I can work out how many frames, where I need to be for the next bit, not sort of like in midair and just guessing. Because without this, I would have nothing to work out where it is, where's the circle or anything. So this is just going to be like a guide, a visual guide to what goes where basically. And a bit like a clock, I've divided it up as I go around it, so I know that I'm at the right speed to do it. So if we go through, we'll see these little orange things kick in and basically hit and then go round. So that is basically lines 1. That's what we're doing there. And you see the keyframes end here. So if I switch off my background here, so background off, because that's the last thing I did, they just remain. Let's switch that off for the minute. So they just remain because we're on this thing here. Okay, so that's cool. So we get it drawing in, splash, goes around, done. And then on this one, what you need to do is I need to sort of draw in. Let's switch that back on. Draw in this fill up here. At this point I decided what I'm going to do is the Blender logo. So I've also, if I go to my camera, I have loaded in the background the Blender logo. Now over in Photoshop, I've just got it centered basically. I've put in 2 guidelines, both at 50, both at 50. And that sort of centers it, and I've placed this at the center, and I actually like exported it out with a darker background, just so that might be a bit easier to see for me. So back in Blender, there you go. So the logo's centered, but the circle isn't quite right. But what we're going to do next is basically, if I go to fills here, all I'm going to do is fill it up. And what happened was I started drawing it using the filled color and this here. So all we're doing in, let me just go to this layer here, unlock it. So all I'm doing is doing that as a fill. Yeah, and then I'm going to the next one, and then just doing the next one. Okay, doing that. Let's undo, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay. So I was drawing it frame by frame, which gives it, just zoom in a little bit, middle mouse wheel, gives it a bit of a wobbly look, a bit more of a fluid look. And I sort of like, well, I don't really want to do that all the way through. If I just go and copy the keyframe at a certain point and then go to the next one and paste the keyframe, all I need to do now is just do that little fill on the very front edge. And this will remain stable because this is a copied keyframe, yeah? So I'm going from here to here, just doing that, just adding the front end basically, all the way around. The other thing I've got here is, because it starts here, yeah, you can see we've got there's my starting point. If I go back 1 to here, there's nothing. So how do we achieve a keyframe with nothing? Well, I basically copied this keyframe here. So if I go to this, actually just click on that and go right and click copy and go here and then go, actually get rid of this one, delete keyframe and hit paste. You see what we've got is this little thing stays forever, which is going to be annoying. So if you want to introduce something, what we need to do is basically go to this keyframe here, which we just copied in, then just use the eraser tool and just erase it. And that is gone now. So the idea of some, actually we've, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so go in, that tightens up, then we've got this just floods out and goes all the way around like so. Okay, the next thing we've got is we actually now need to play with the logo. So let's switch that on. And basically I put in a circle here, and you'll see that if we're on this frame now, and we'll lock that guy, we'll unlock you. So we're on these frames here. What I've done here, this circle, I've basically copied it back here, copied it here, copied it here, and at this point I've just gone in and erased it. So that's my introduction point, is there. How you make these things smaller is you change from draw mode into sculpt mode and use the push tool, and basically you can just push it smaller. Yeah, like that. And that's how you reduce it down, so you can sort of grow it backwards. And that's it. And same with this one, that one and this one. And same with this. I've used the push tool in sculpt mode just to pull it out. Yeah, to start filling it basically. The only other thing you'll see is these white things here. So if I go to my camera and just turn it off. If I go into draw mode. If I go into paint mode, if you're sculpting, you can only sculpt so far, and then it'll sort of start to break, and you don't want to go have to redraw the orange. So all I went in, used the draw tool again, and I set it over in here just to be a white material, so I can cut into something. So at the end of the day, you've got 3 layers on. You could do it in 1 layer, but we did it in 3. So you end up with a nearly cool looking logo. It's got some little bits and bobs that are not quite right. So export, we render this out and then throw it into a video editor. And then all I've done then is go into Photoshop and rendered out 1 frame. And that's my final frame. So you go from a 2D animated logo that came from Blender. And then I transition that by putting this at the end, which is a perfect looking logo. Then you render out the video, and yeah, that's that basically. You can also now go and download the logo. If I go to Blend Swap, so here, and if I go to Blends and go to All Blends, I uploaded it yesterday, so it's one of the one at the top of all blends. But if you search for it, if you just do grease pencil and hit search, you'll find it. You'll find it at the moment. It's quite easy to find because it's one of those. There's not many grease pencil blends up. Then you can go and download the Blender file and have a play yourself. Right, that's as simple as that. I will see you later. Have fun. Cheers. Bye.